For this part of the session, 5 ASEAN member states will discuss how to secure sustainable competitiveness in the digital market and enhance free trade within the region, including collaboration between ICT, cross-border data flow, development of a new regional payment system, as well as e-commerce development. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined by 5 speakers and our moderator. To guide us through this next part, we have Dr. Ko Young-kyung, Research Professor at Korea University Asiatic Research Institute ASEAN Center. So please welcome our moderator with a big round of applause. Thank you for joining us today. And for the introduction of our 5 esteemed speakers, we are joined by Ms. Nilundone KEOMANYSY, Deputy Director General of Payment Systems Department of Central Bank of Laos PDR. So please welcome her. Thank you for your participation and support. Next, we're also joined by Ms. Maricar Magpili, Information Technology Officer of Department of Information and Communications Technology at the Philippines. Please welcome her. And Mr. Tan Lu Hai, Director of Northeast Asia Division of the Ministry of Trade and Industry in Singapore, is joining us today. Thank you for your time. And next, Ms. Nam Kyung Min, Deputy Director of Thailand Board of Investment Seoul Office of Thailand, is joining us today. Please welcome her. Last but not least, we're also joined by Mr. Liu Dok An, Director of Center of Information and Digital Technology. Please welcome him. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today, and we're also looking forward to their different 5 presentations. First, let me invite Ms. Nilundone KEOMANYSY, Deputy Director General of Payment Systems Department of Central Bank of Laos PDR. And today, she will be enlightening us with her presentation entitled Digital Transformation of Currency, Digital Lao Kip. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her once again with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much, and very good afternoon to everyone who participate and pay attention to this forum. As the introduction said, I'm from the Payment System Department, Bank of the Laos PDR. And actually, this is a very brief introduction on payment systems and digitization of Lao KIP. So hopefully you get some information, and then we will have a follow-up meeting later on. So actually, the Payment System Department has just been established in 2018. And since the establishment, we have been working on the strategy on payment systems of the finance and banking sector 5 years from 2021 to 2025. And the vision of this strategy is to develop the payment infrastructure system and services to be interoperable domestically and internationally, and to encourage the growth of the digital economy and contribute to the implementation of monetary policy and maintain financial stability, which is aiming to have a convenient, fast, modern, secure, and low payment service fees. This is the journey of the payment systems development of the Lao PDR. You can see that the journey starts actually significantly since 2011, when the RTGS has official launch. And then in 2015, the labs or the ATM switching system has been launched as a part of Bank of the Laos PDR. And with that progress in 2017, Bank of the Laos PDR see that payment system is growing in significant pace. So payment system law has been endorsed by the National Assembly of the Laos PDR. Follow up the year in 2018, Payment System Department or PSD was established under the Bank of the Laos PDR, which is the Central Bank of Laos. And since then, in 2019, secondary regulation has been draft and endorsed in order to use as regulatory tools of the bank in order to supervise and oversee the payment systems. And as mentioned this morning, the standards are required in every work of linkage. So Bank of the Laos PDR also launched its QR codes and upgraded the RTGS to La Paz system, which consists of the RTGS and also ACH system in the same time. And in 2021, as I mentioned before, the payment strategy was endorsed, and at the same year, the payment system oversight framework has been also endorsed by the governor of the Bank of the Laos PDR. And you may curious that what about 2022 and 23? So that year is the growth of cryptocurrencies and also digital Lao Grip, which I will explain later. And with that, there are sets of regulation that has been used within the Bank of the Laos PDR to supervise the banking system. And in this ecosystem of banking and payment system, there are the same type of payment like other countries, such as systematic important payment systems or SIPs. And we also have the retail payment systems, which is LabNet, and also have the payments service providers, which consists of different types of services, and we also have the end users. And these are the services that has been licensed by the Bank of the Laos PDR. And previously, we may heard about the moving toward the digitization of the Lao Grip, and we had a proof of concept with Suramitse before, and this will provide more information details with the following meeting that we may have from the end of January to early February. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nilundone, for that presentation. Thank you for sharing the information and introduction on the digital Lao Keep. And next, we will invite our second presenter of this session. Now, we have Ms. Maricar Magpili, Information Technology Officer of Department of Information and Communication Technology of the Philippines. And today, she will be delivering her presentation under the topic of Cybersecurity in the Philippines, Sharing a Secure Cyber Landscape, National Cybersecurity Plan 2028. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming her.
Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, honorable officials and distinguished guest speakers. Thank you for this opportunity, and allow me to share with you the proposed National Cybersecurity Plan 2023-2028 of the Republic of the Philippines. Okay. So under the Republic Act 10844, the Department of Information and Communications Technology is mandated to formulate and implement the National Cybersecurity Plan. The first iteration of the plan was published in 2017 and was enforced from 2017 to 2022, which laid the foundation for much of the DICT's work. Through the NCSP 2017-2022, the national CERT was organized and a reporting mechanism was established. However, responding to cybersecurity incidents efficiently still requires improvement, and there's much work that needs to be done to protect our critical infrastructure and information. Thus, under the administration of President Marcos Jr., a new plan was formulated, the the National Cybersecurity Plan 2028. This plan will be led by DICT and will be adopted by all government instrumentalities, including the national government, the government-owned corporations, and the local government units. The NCSP 2028 is a sub-plan of the Philippine Development Plan that reflects the social economic agenda of President Marcos and regards cybersecurity as critical not only to peace and security but also to economic development. It aims to improve the e-commerce and digital trade by strengthening regulatory frameworks in the areas of transparency, privacy, and cybersecurity. So the current Philippine cybersecurity landscape shows that the Philippines is vulnerable to attacks. Based on the data from Kaspersky Security Network, it was revealed that the Philippines moved 2 places up, ranking second among the countries most attacked by web threats from January to December 2022. From January to November 2023, the Philippine NCERT monitored a total of 3,967 cybersecurity threats and handled 1,643 incidents. The top 3 cybersecurity incidents handled were uncompromised websites and systems at 44.6%, technical assistance, data exfiltration or data leak. And given this data, we can see that majority of those incidents have targeted the government emergency responses systems. Second is coming from the academic sector. And lastly, the most targeted is the telecommunications sector. Since the publication of the first NCSP 2017, the country's cybersecurity posture is improving, but not par with our regional counterparts. In the ASEAN region, the country was ranked 4th in 2017, but fell to 6th in 2020, paling behind Vietnam and Indonesia in the latest Global Cybersecurity Index rankings. So the vision of the NCSP 2028 enumerates 3 collective desired goals to secure the nation's cyberspace. First, it should be trusted. The most important factor in e-commerce, digital trading, and online banking is trust. This trust of cyberspace limits investments in e-commerce. So by institutionalizing trust and strengthening the country's capability to secure transaction in cyberspace, it is undeniably important to the country's economic growth. So it must be secured. Security refers to the protection of assets in cyberspace. Assets include intangible and tangible assets. Admittedly, not all assets can be fully protected, and an evolving landscape of threats, vulnerabilities, and threat actors. The adoption of a risk-based approach is required to effectively secure information assets in the cyberspace. And lastly, it must be reliable. By including reliability in the vision, it becomes the nation's goal to develop an ecosystem of quality ICT products that deliver services as advertised. There should be a mechanism to be established to monitor and ensure reliability of the country's products. And lastly, the vision, to realize these visions, 3 outcomes, 3 desired outcomes have been identified and supported by different strategies. So first one is the cybersecurity policy framework strengthened. Second is the state and its people in cyberspace is proactively protected and secured. And lastly, cybersecurity workforce capabilities must be increased. So there you have it. Thank you. I hope to receive some response or observation regarding our proposed cybersecurity plan.
Thank you. Please give a big round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Magpili, for that presentation. She just introduced her Philippines experience and also the plan. And next, we'd like to invite Mr. Dan Louis Hai, Director of Northeast Asia Division of the Ministry of Trade and Industry of Singapore, who will be delivering his presentation on expanding the digital markets through digital economy agreements. Please welcome him.
Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to be here to be able to discuss about how our digital economy agreements can help us capture opportunities in the digital economy and expand the digital markets. Okay, I think we can all agree that the digital economy is a primary key growth driver nowadays. But in particular, for small and open economies like Singapore, the digital economy can help us actually overcome our size and resource constraints. Digital technologies will help to fortify Singapore's traditional strength in trade logistics and infrastructure connectivity. So these are some of the features of the Singapore economy that can help us ride on the digitalization wave, including our strong trade connectivity, top ranking intellectual protection, intellectual property rights protection regime, and of course, our pro-enterprise environment. I shall now elaborate more on the digital economy agreement. Basically, the DEAs help us to navigate the new landscape of the digital economy that is currently beyond the traditional FTAs that we have. Our digital economy agreements have three main outcomes. First, to facilitate seamless end-to-end digital trade. This can be done by facilitating and allowing the interoperability of e-invoicing, e-payment, as well as digital identity system across borders, so that both sides can conduct transactions in a secure and trusted manner, as well as initiatives to promote paperless trading, such as the use of electronic bills of lading, which mainly will help to replace a paper flow and make the flow of trade documentation more efficient and secure. Second, the DEAs aim to enable the open and secure flow of data, which will be increasingly important for businesses and companies to operate efficiently across border. So the Digital Economy Agreement will have provisions in place to ensure that data can flow freely while ensuring that the key elements of privacy protection as well as security is still being observed. Thirdly, we aim to build trust in digital systems. This could include mutual recognition of our national trust mark framework, as well as standards and also initiatives to promote online consumer protection, protection against scam, and to ensure that consumers have confidence when they, for instance, make purchase across border through e-commerce. They have the confidence that they are dealing with businesses that have trustworthy practices. Singapore has concluded 4 DEAs so far. This includes the DIPA with Chile and New Zealand. The Republic of Korea has applied to join and have substantially concluded its accession last year. We also have DEAs with Australia and the United Kingdom, and of course with the Republic of Korea as well. And within ASEAN, the ASEAN Digital Economy Framework Agreement, or DIFA, is of course ASEAN's latest endeavor to allow us to harness the potential of the digital economy. And this was actually launched in December 2023, and negotiations are expected to be concluded by end of 2025. I shall elaborate a bit more on the Korea-Singapore Digital Partnership Agreement, or KSDPA, which beyond the rules making that I mentioned just now that are common to our DEAs, we also focus on the implementation of concrete projects in areas such as AI, the electronic exchange of data, including trade data, as well as to facilitate business-to-business interaction through the Korea-Singapore Digital Economic Dialogue. And the inaugural session of the dialogue was actually conducted just last year in Seoul. Lastly, I shall touch on the potential of how we can collaborate both within ASEAN and also between ASEAN and Korea on the digital economy. So, of course, Southeast Asia is one of the world's fastest growing regions for the digital economy. I read a report that we have more than 100,000 new internet users each day. And the Republic of Korea is, of course, a global digital giant, home to world-leading ICT companies, as well as possession of world-class digital infrastructure. As the digital economy is an emerging area of collaboration, many of the issues and problems faced by our businesses will be new and complex. So this actually will require like-minded partners to work together on new and innovative solutions. So collaboration can be driven by both shared interests as well as the use of existing DEAs such as the KSDPA and DIPA to access new markets and expand business operations. So to just sum it up, I believe that the opportunities for collaboration between Korea and ASEAN in the digital economy is actually really the sky's the limit. So there are areas ranging from research and development, investment in digital infrastructure, collaboration between our startup ecosystem, as well as, of course, in the cultural and creative industries for which Korea is a recognized global leader. And finally, if you're interested in more details, you can use the QR code to access more information on our DEAs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Thank you. From this presentation, we had a chance to briefly learn about Singapore's digital economy agreements. And next, we'd like to welcome Ms. Nam Kyung-min, Deputy Director of Thailand Board of Investment Seoul Office, and her topic will be Digital Economy in Thailand and its Opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our presenter with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. 안녕하세요. I'm Kyung-min Nam from Thailand Board of Investment Seoul Office. I'd like to appreciate for AKC to prepare this meaningful time. Thank you for giving me here. I hope that today will be fruitful time for a Korean entrepreneur to have more interesting to Thailand and find a chance to collaborate between two nations. First of all, Thailand is located at the heart of ASEAN, which borders several countries such as Malaysia, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. Many of Koreans have known that Thailand is only for tourist destination. However, you can fly anywhere in the world from Thailand because of the strategic location. And Thailand is the second largest economy in ASEAN, plus second largest digital economy in ASEAN as well. Regarding the Thailand digital market landscape, first of all, there are 67 million people in Thailand, and urbanization rate is 53%. And 78% of population use internet, and there are 390,000 ICT human resources, and almost 50,000 students for ICT sector graduate annually. According to Digital Economy Promotion Agency in Thailand, number of labor in digital industry has grown by 22.4% between 2019 and 2021. In addition, Thailand ranked third among ASEAN for the World Digital Competitiveness by IMD. To evaluate this, there are several subsectors. Thailand got high score on R&D related and recorded the first ranking in ASEAN. So we can understand that Thailand human resources for the ICT is very strong. And Thailand is also the first country in ASEAN to adopt 5G and ranked number 1 in ASEAN and number 5 in the world for investment telecommunication by IMD. So if we see the government preparation on digital, there are plenty of digital government services such as G-Crowd, e-CMS, government smart kiosk, etc. And government is focusing on launching service flagship projects to accelerate digital transformation, such as data center modelization, government data analysis center. And another key point for digital development, digital cluster and startup nurture agency is also well set up by both government and by private sector. And there are several government agencies to support it, but there are a lot of agencies, so I skipped the name because of the time limited. And we have also the digital laws such as data protection law, cybersecurity act, etc. These kind of things protect and support the business for the stable and sustainable development. Based on this environment, Thailand digital economy is expected that it will contribute to 25% for Thailand GDP by 2027. Regarding the digital industry market value, the domestic market for software and digital services had an annual average value of around 450 billion Thai baht, which is around 1.6 trillion Korean won between 2019 and 2021. The biggest portion of digital service is online media, is 38%. And for the service sector, on-premise and cloud and SaaS accounts for 60%. And for the digital content, game accounts for 88%. The interesting thing is Thailand spends the longest time for online news and game console according to the data in 2020. Forecast for this year. Every sector of digital economy shows a good sign, and especially for the digital services, is expected to the greatest growth by 23.5%. So I would like to say there are opportunities in any field that strengthens digital capabilities. Online education, e-commerce, security, as well as digital infrastructure, automation, etc. BOI promotes digital industry for the country's development. Then how do we support? We provided both tax and non-tax incentives, and please refer this slide for the details due to the time limit. So BOI prepared this kind of program. So if you investment in these 4 sectors in Thailand, we can support by tax and non-tax incentive to you. Maybe you have more questions. Fortunately, we have an office in Seoul, and I'm from Seoul office. So if you have any questions, or if you want to get more information, please contact me at any time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nam, for that presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, now we'd like to introduce our last presentation of the day. So today we're joined by Mr. Lee Dok-an, Director of Center of Information and Digital Technology, who will be giving us his presentation on opportunities in the e-commerce market of Vietnam. Please welcome him.
Your Excellency, distinguished delegate, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to congratulate to the success of the 11th ASEAN Connectivity Forum today, a meaningful journey connecting ASEAN countries with Korea. Representing Vietnam in this session, I come from the Ministry of Industry and Trade, Vietnam E-commerce and Digital Economy Agency. We are state management agency for e-commerce in Vietnam, and I thank the ASEAN-Korea Center for inviting us to participate and say at today. Distinguished delegate, the number of internet users in ASEAN has increased by over 100 million in the past 3 years, making ASEAN the fastest growing internet market in the world. And this increase in internet users is expected to contribute more than 300%, $300 billion to the total gross merchandise value by 2025, with e-commerce leading the digital economy contribute more than 64%. Vietnam, being part of ASEAN, has also experienced impressive growth over the years. Most recently, according to the 2023 e-commerce report by Google and Temasek, Vietnam market growth rate is among the top 5 in the world in terms of the speed. In ASEAN, Vietnam has the second largest e-commerce market after Indonesia, which has the fastest growth rate in the region. With the current growth rate, the Vietnam e-commerce market is predicted to reach $60 billion by 2030. This will be an attractive sign to attract investor, enterprise, and create development in the future. To maintain growth and sustainable development of Vietnam e-commerce market, there are many tasks for external and internal factors. First, consumer demand is a golden thread running through the fabric. At the heart of this explosive growth are the demand of Vietnam's young, digital empowered consumer, millionaire and Gen Z, armed with smartphone and a thirst for convenience and driving the rapid adoption of online shopping. Vietnam encourages local businesses and people to use e-commerce and support manufacture in expanding consumption market for agriculture and consumer goods, handicraft and products certified as meeting the One Commune, One Product program standard through cross-border e-commerce channel. Secondly, selling trend-setting street are waving the future of retail. Social commerce and influencer marketing like live stream and interactive experience further blur the line between the physical and digital world, allowing consumers to immerse themselves in product demonstration and personal interaction. Mobile phone account for 91% of the electronic means common used to order online. In this mobile-first environment, optimizing website and app for smartphone is no longer a luxury but a necessary for seamless shopping experience. But Vietnam is quickly adapt a new e-commerce model like online sale like TikTok, like Facebook, and affiliate marketing. And the third point, also an important point, like between the consumer and seller. E-commerce needs digital infrastructure support, as said by Mr. Le Quang Lan this morning. E-commerce needs not only logistic and electronic payment infrastructure, but also a digital infrastructure for data, electronic document. And in my sharing, I would like to mention a very important document, which is electronic contract and e-document supporting ecosystem. With the promotion of electronic contract and electronic conclusion in Vietnam, the future of businesses being able to sign e-contract, perform e-transaction with widely recognized legal value instead of paper form. With electronic contract, other businesses operate revolving around businesses transaction, such as online dispute resolution, such as credit evaluation, such as information transparency will also be strengthened. This is an important environment for business activity, trade with full and transparent data. In Vietnam, over the past 5 years, the government has made effort to promote the application of digital transformation, resulting in 100% of Vietnamese businesses and now using electronic invoice, digital signature, and by 2025, 80% of Vietnamese businesses will use e-contract. This is the plan of the government. As the government unit for e-commerce and directly licensed managed SICA organization, it is certified e-contract authority in Vietnam. So we expect a coordination in the region, as well as between Vietnam and other ASEAN countries and Vietnam and Korea and South Korea to implement the connectivity and allow businesses to conduct e-transaction and e-contract in the region. So thank you for listening to my last presentation today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will start the panel discussion. And questions collected from our audiences will be displayed on the screen in front of our panelists. And now it's time to welcome once again our moderator, Dr. Young-kyung, with a big round of applause. Please welcome her. Thank you, moderator.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and warm thanks to the introduction. Thanks to her for introduction. I'm truly honored to assume the role of a moderator today for the 11th ASEAN Connectivity Forum. The significance of digitalization and digital transition in driving economic and social development cannot be overstated. It's no doubt. This is the very strongest driving force of economic development is digital transition, and the other one is green transition, I guess. Yeah. It extended beyond just mere technology itself. The digitalization is truly related to the change of our daily life. Think about the life without Grab and Gojek. Much different, right? It's not only to me, it's everybody experienced in Southeast Asia. During my 9 years working experience in Malaysia, I traveled all across the Southeast Asia. So I witnessed this kind of dramatic transformation by a mobile application. I mentioned the Grab, Gojek, or all other things. It's a really wow point, wow innovation, right? So, but that's why I'm the PhD in finance and researcher in Southeast Asian business business researcher. So I followed up all those digitalization in Southeast Asia and business and startups and capital inflow into Southeast Asia. Then finally, I published the book, the ASEAN Super App World. So this kind of wow, innovative experience changed me and then changed all the national policy into the digital era too. So during today's session, each of five the presenters shared their current development of national policy and their perspective and what's going on, the digital transformation in these countries. Actually, the daily life innovation driven by startups was a really basic starting point. But nowadays, we have to talk about much bigger picture and roadmap and framework, because digitalization is make the world seamless, and then in terms of a business, the cost less and benefit bigger. Okay, so already Laos, in Laos case, she delivered. Laos is moving toward implementing a digital currency system. And Philippine government is prioritizing national cybersecurity, unveiling 6-year plan, right? And Singapore is really actively fostering ASEAN and Korea digital economic collaboration. And Thailand, BOI, yes, Board of Investment is offering diverse investment incentives for foreign investment in terms of the digital era too, and recognize Vietnam's rapid economic growth, the e-commerce growth, and there is a proposal for an electronic signing connection channel too. Right. So while the earlier session already we talk about some broad framework. So in this session, I would like to ask some more practical and substantial progress questions to everyone. Especially this forum organized by Korea ASEAN Center. So this forum underscores Korea's commitment to the enhancing ASEAN and Korea connectivity and efficiently and effectively. So in light of this, I would like to pose a common question to all presenters. What roles do you envision Korea playing in supporting your country's project? Any expectations from Korean counterparts? Please give an answer. I would like to turn first to Miss Nilundone KEOMANYSY. Oh, sorry, it's hard to pronounce.
It's okay. Thank you very much for the common question. Actually, I would like to focus on payment systems. The question is very easy to answer for me because Korea has already engaged in development of the payment systems since the beginning of the establishment of the payment systems in the Lao PDR. The first project that we have been working together is the BOK KPP knowledge sharing project, which is driven by the Central Bank of Korea. And follow up from that is the KFTC, which is the Korea Telecommunication Company and financial telecommunication company, which helping us in terms of open banking. And in the future, I think we will have another project with the KFTC again. But to tell you the recent cooperation that we have with Korea is that in Laos, if you are Korea traveling to Laos, you can already use Korea payments by scanning into Lao local bank BCL, which is using the GLN technology. The company who has the join our panel discussion this morning technology. And with that, Korea has already engaged in our development of the payment systems. And my expectation is a lot more to come, and we will make it happen very soon based on the foundation that Korea has already have with our payment system development. Thank you.
Related to that answer. So Korea, probably Central Bank of Korea already engaged in Korean government cooperate to your central bank and government in terms of a payment system. So do you expect any other further collaboration related to any extra or additional project do you think of?
Oh, I forgot to mention, actually, last October, we just had a remittance project with Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare. Our first pilot project is remittance from Korea to Laos for Lao labor who works in Korea. So that is another sector that is we are working together. So
Yeah.
quite a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. And the same question, what the role of Korean counterparts for Philippines, for the collaboration between two countries? Yeah. Okay. Philippine case, Ms. Maricar Magpili.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Moderator. Currently, the Philippine government through the DICT and the Korean government through the KOICA International Cooperation Agency is having a collaboration on the 2025 Country Cooperation Project. So the KOICA has reviewed our proposed project concept papers, which are the Cybersecurity and Backup Data Center project, and as well as a digital ID project. It will be a KOICA-led official development assistance project, which are focused on digital transformation and on cybersecurity. It will cover infrastructure, capacity building for cybersecurity professionals. And in addition to that, I'll just refer to the document here. So the project will involve the construction of a backup data center and the rehabilitation of command center. Also, it will capacitate the cybersecurity personnel of the organization with the cutting-edge equipment configurations on information security monitoring system and monitoring center and other developments related to handling of cybersecurity reports. And then the implementation of a digital ID system in the Philippines using the national ID system, especially using mobile systems or related platforms through blockchain technology. Yeah. So that's the recent collaboration between the Philippine and the Korean government in terms of digital transformation.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. So there are so many collaboration projects between Philippines and Korea. It's much more than I expected. But you also mentioned the capacity building. Yeah, this is a more key factor to develop the cybersecurity collaboration, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
So probably KOICA think about another project on that. Okay, what Korea's role do you expect for those kind of two countries' development to Singapore and Korea? Because we needed to take a note already. The Singapore and Korea signed up development digital economy partnership agreement, right? Yeah. So. And ASEAN is embarking on the digital economic framework agreement. We starting on the negotiation. So, how can ASEAN and ROK, the Korea, the deepen digital economic collaboration? Not talking about the bigger, the superficial framework. I would like to ask you some more practical and substantial approach.
Okay, thank you. So maybe I'll talk about Singapore and the Republic of Korea first. So as mentioned, the KSDPA already provides a strong foundation of collaboration in the digital economy between Singapore and ROK. And the two countries have always been very strong and like-minded partners for many years. So we can continue to build upon the KSDPA to facilitate more business-to-businesses exchanges, as well as to build a trusted and secure digital environment for our companies to thrive. And in that sense, the KSDPA being the first digital economy agreement between two Asian countries will hopefully also provide a kind of template or reference point on how ASEAN and Korea can collaborate to leverage on the opportunities provided by a digital economy. Of course, taking into account the diversity and size of ASEAN compared to just Singapore alone. To talk about practical projects, for instance, under the KSDPA, as I mentioned just now, we have MOU on collaborations on artificial intelligence. And in fact, under this MOU, both Korea and Singapore have actually worked together to launch a joint grant called that Fund Research in AI-based net zero energy efficient building management system. So this again is an example of how a digital economy is increasingly pervasive across all sectors of economy and can help in pushing for key pillars like sustainability as well. So I would say that once the negotiation on DIFA is concluded, then of course ASEAN with a more common framework on how we collaborate within ASEAN on the digital economy will be able to then also find new ways to work with Korea on how we can leverage each other's strength. As mentioned earlier, the opportunities actually really abound. For instance, recently I just read an Economist article on the development of e-commerce in Indonesia, and it's really fascinating how somebody who ordered a pair of shoes in Kalimantan get it delivered from Java, I think, all the way. The need of all kinds of supporting infrastructure at the back end requires a lot of massive investment from traditional infra to digital infra. So I'm sure Korea, being a key global player in these fields, will find a lot of opportunity as well in ASEAN. And lastly, I think I also do a bit of investment promotion here. so we also welcome all Korean companies to set out your base in Singapore and make use of our FTA as well as the KSDPA to expand and do your operations in the rest of ASEAN. Thank you very much.
Yes, when we develop what types of collaboration and what types of project we develop, we need more investment. So that's why Singapore is one of the hub of digitalization in terms of investment itself. So probably nowadays most of the Korean banking corporate finance companies and also venture capital locate their regional headquarters in Southeast Asia as Singapore. So we can expect some more capital injection project together, so making Singapore is one of the hubs with for Korean companies too. Okay, so, I would like to ask you to the Miss, Nam Kyung-min. So I would like to ask the same question. From the perspective of Thailand, which role could Korea take for cooperating on the Thailand's project? So any expectation from Korean counterparts?
Thank you for the question. There are many government agencies related to digital industry in Thailand. And regarding your question, I would like to answer in the point of view of Thailand Board of Investment. Thailand Board of Investment is the government agency to promote valuable investment to restructure Thailand's economy into the new economy. So we update the regulation in target sectors depending on the situation. And last year, we set up a new investment promotion strategy between 2023 to 2027, and we designated 5 priority industry. So digital economy is one of them. So it means digital industry is very priority and important one for Thailand government. So our expectation from Korea is investment from Korean company. So this is our main role. So I'd like to say like that. And there are several successful cases in Thailand already. So the line is actually, this is the Japan company, but the mother company is the neighbor in Korea. So Line is the #1 application in Thailand. And Kakao Web is also very successful in Thailand. It's very fast growth in Thailand. And the Covan, this is one of van company in Korea, and they invested in Thailand a long time ago, more than 10 years ago. And they settled down their business in Thailand. So they integrated the electric transaction system in Thailand. And so they are the pioneer in Thailand. So you can do, any Korean company can access to Thailand. Don't afraid. We have a lot of incentive to you. So my presentation just before, I show you our incentive regarding digital industry. So you can see we provide lots of corporate income tax, maximum 8-year incentive. It means this sector is very important to Thailand. So we are waiting for you. And as I mentioned before, our office is near this Westin Josun. It's located in Myeongdong, so you can call me anytime. Thank you.
So Thailand, they offer the 8 years income tax exemption. So any better betting on that? You know, any other countries? Yeah, we provide some 10 years or 9 years, 10% or 50% exemption.
I would like to say more that if you have activities R&D or any further valuable activities, we can give more incentive for the corporate income tax. Don't worry about that.
Maybe what about Vietnam? Vietnam can provide a better carrot or incentives to us.
Oh, we will try.
Okay, the Vietnam government say we will try, so let's see. Okay, so I would like to give a same question to you. Is what's any expectation from Korean counterparts for regarding digitalization for Vietnam digital economy?
In fact, in terms of the e-commerce and cross-border e-commerce, this is what we are really want to bring to the conference today. So from the counterpart, I think each country have their own way to develop, especially after the pandemic. Each one have 2 years after the pandemic until now, from now to get a new wave of investment. So in terms of Vietnam, we are really think about how to build a fully ecosystem to support the e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce. Because to develop the cross-border e-commerce is not easy at all. It's a lot of things like cross-border logistics, like cross-border payment, like tax. In Vietnam, we also have quite an issue with the tax when you sell stuff via cross-border. So what we are trying to do is we try to build, like we said in the morning, we try to build a digital platform, and in which the digital platform we try to let all the data will go online, and from that the enterprise and also the consumer, they can co-working in a digital environment, and from that they will have the transparent data, and also we can have them to clear the dispute and also settle the online dispute settlement system. So yeah, so that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lut Tok An. Okay, now let's turn around to the each country's issues regarding some digital transition. So, for example, the Lao case. So, you presented already some about the digital Lao KIP project. So 2011, the RTGS already launched, and the final slide, you mentioned the project DLAC. So this is a digital Lao KIP. So do you think this kind of a digital Lao KIP, which stage is located in, which stage now is in, and then when would be the suitable time for Laos transition to use digital Lao Keep? Because it's very critical. Because any company they get into the Laos market, then when they expect this start to really use in business field. So could you answer some more?
Thank you for your question. And in terms of the readiness of the Lao PDR to use digital Lao Keep and the stage of development, I can say that we are in a very beginning of the development stage, because in the past 2 or 3 years, we had established a working committee to conduct an initial study on the possibility of using digital Lao Keep. And our first proof of concept project with Suramitsu is part of the study on the possibility of how we are going to use it, which group of citizens we are going to use it, and what type of technology we are going to use it for. So we think and we plan to use it to solve the financial inclusion problem, which remain within rural area and remote area. And we found out that our other main problem or challenges is the infrastructure, as many presenter has presented today, that internet coverage and the use of 3G and 4G and 5G has the important role in digitization. So we are in the beginning of the early stage of the digital Lao Keep transformation, and a lot more has to be done and studied in order to effectively use both digital and target group of the use of digital Lao Keep. And within that, we can say that other technology and maybe the Korean technology company are welcome to join the project within the consideration of the new working committee that has been set up for CBDC or digital Lao Keep. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to the Philippines case. Yeah, so you mentioned the cybersecurity plan by government. So, how does a cybersecurity or national cybersecurity plan, the shaping plan, can contribute to digital economy of the Philippines?
Well, actually, we've seen how the COVID pandemic affected the digital economy globally, and almost all of us shifted to online services. So with that shift into technology, a lot of the threat actors and the cyber criminals abuse the environment and the opportunity to do that. So with the cybersecurity plan 2028, we ensure that these threats being encountered during the 4 years of adjustment to the shift of technology, we ensure that those problems will be ensured and addressed. We have the 3 outcomes, namely the first one, the strengthening of, just look here, the cybersecurity policy framework strengthened. So with this, we empowered the National Cybersecurity Interagency Council to be the convergence point for all the government agencies developing policy areas on cybersecurity, because some of the agencies' mandates are overlapping in terms of the cybersecurity, you know. So the National Cybersecurity Interagency Council, or NSHAC, will be the convergence point to address all this overlap. And then we have the enhancement of existing cybersecurity and cyber crime laws, rules and regulation. Right now, we are finalizing the cybersecurity bill. And then we are proposing the new legislative measures to strengthen cybersecurity. So there are a lot of policies that we are looking into, and this we hope will solve the issues on misaligned incentives, the asymmetric information, and the externalities that hinder the voluntary adoption of cybersecurity measures. And then for outcome 2, the state and its people in cyberspace are proactively protected and secure. Basically, this outcome focuses on the delineation of function of the two CERTs, the national CERT and the defense CERT, wherein they are the ones who act during the cyber emergencies. And then we have, lastly, the cybersecurity workforce capability increase. So for this one, we have 4 strategies to address this outcome, which is to improve cybersecurity culture in the country. I don't know if all the Asian neighbors already have this cybersecurity culture. That's why in our bureau, we keep on promoting the cybersecurity, we keep on doing cybersecurity awareness and advocacy. We regularly post on tips and conduct awareness trainings on our stakeholders to make them be aware on how to be protected during cyber attacks. And then we also have a strategy to increase the number of cybersecurity professionals, to institutionalize a cybersecurity organization in the government, and establish a national cybersecurity training and research center. So we hope that the National Cybersecurity Training Research Center, these are centers based on the assessment of state universities and colleges who has the ability to offer trainings on cybersecurity. So those are those 3 outcomes we believe will enhance the economy of the Philippine government.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. Actually, cybersecurity issue is worldwide critical. Actually, it's not only to Philippines and every members of ASEAN countries, and Korea also face it. It's a very serious cybersecurity issue because this is related to the trust of ecosystem. That's why we need to collaborate in ASEAN level or Korea ASEAN level. We need to co-work to prevent and establish the better system. Okay. To Singapore, actually, I would like to ask some regarding the AI. Yeah, nowadays we talk about every day. We talk about the AI, right? So, Singapore government has some initiative to read the AI technology. So, do you have any specific possible available plan for cooperation in terms of AI? In between Singapore and Korea and ASEAN, Singapore and Korea, those kind of any initiative or plan for cooperation?
Thank you for the questions. So just to give the overall framework, Singapore does have a Smart Nation Initiative framework initiative launched about 10 years ago. This is really a whole of society effort that include 3 main pillars of digital government, digital society, and digital economy, and include many strands. Because I think one observation we want to make is that all these tracks have to progress at the same pace. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Because, for instance, in Singapore now, almost all government services are provided electronically end to end. But once you do that, that means we have a single national digital identity system. Then cybersecurity become critical. Because if that get lost or get hacked into, then the consequences is disastrous. And at the same time, of course, if you have more things transacted online, you must make sure that digital literacy is also raised, because otherwise you then have a segment of population who are unable to do the things that a lot of other people do. So it's really a lot of things moving at the same time, and almost all of the government agencies involved in one way or another. So AI is, again, just one of the many strands inside. And under this, we do have some initiative. For instance, just last month, we launched the second edition of our national AI strategy. Why there's a need of a second edition is, I guess, because when the first edition was written, which probably is not too long ago, a lot has changed again, especially in the past 2 years. And this new national strategy on AI support our Smart Nation initiative and include our commitment to build a trusted and a responsible AI ecosystem. Again, it's what I mentioned just now. It's not only the innovation and growth part that's important, but also the importance of making sure that users and consumers have confidence in the system. So our vision in the national AI strategy will be essentially AI for the public good, for Singapore and for the world. So there are 2 key goals under this strategy. First, excellence. So we recognize that there's a need for industry, government, and also the research sector to work together to develop peaks of excellence in AI, to allow Singapore to maximize value creation in our economy, and also address the needs of our time. As mentioned just now, AI can have a big role to play in both healthcare as well as helping us to achieve our climate targets. But at the same time, we also need empowerment. That means we need to equip our people, businesses, as well as communities to use AI with both confidence and trust. So this again includes things from education to setting a trusted framework, as well as also more maybe harder to achieve things, but things that are very critical, like actually retraining our workforce, including through subsidies or other incentives to get them to change from one sector of the economy to another. So we do have a lot of this program to try to retrain mid-career workers. Yeah. And also in a couple of years ago, our Singapore Infocom Media Development Authority, or IMDA, also launched an international pilot for what we call AI Verify. This is an AI governance testing framework and software toolkit that will help our organizations to demonstrate that they are implementing responsible AI through standardized tests. So yeah, I think because of time constraints, should not continue to go on all these various initiatives. Thank you.
Maybe next year we can expect, or this year we can expect some of ASEAN AI connectivity forum sponsored by Korea ASEAN Center, I expect, right? Okay. To Thailand, yeah, you already strongly give us some informative presentation, including investment incentives. So, which sectors are more feasible and looks profitable for Korean company to invest in Thailand? Which sector of digital economy? You don't need to guarantee. You just propose. Yeah.
Which sector? Actually, BOI promoted 7 industries. There are a lot of projects we can support. And digital industries, I show you that we have lots of sectors, digital activities, digital infrastructure, digital ecosystem, and smart city. So related to digital industries, I can say there are a lot of opportunity. So I can say like this because of I can show you the objective information. I said, as my presentation just before, I said Thailand is ranked 3rd for the digital competitiveness by IMD. And there are many sub-factors to evaluate it, and there are many sectors that Thailand ranked number 1. Can you guess what it is? Don't be surprised. So I show you the sub-factors that Thailand ranked as number 1 is employee training and total expenditure on R&D and R&D productivity by publication, high-tech patent grant, robots in education and R&D, And investment in telecommunication, internet bandwidth speed, communications technology, and attitudes towards globalization, and world robotics distribution, etc. Amazing, right? Especially for investment in telecommunication and internet bandwidth speed ranked fifth in the world, not in ASEAN. So those means Thailand is ready for the future, and it shows Thailand means business opportunity and right partner for Korea, and starting point for Korea company to expand their business to ASEAN. So actually, I would like to mention about the AI, because this is a very hot issue and we cannot say anything except for AI. So last October, the KT announced that they will handle with Thai telecommunication company for service large language model in Thai language. So in this morning, there is a question to Dr. Go from NIA that what kind of tips to enter the ASEAN market, and Dr. Go answers the understanding reason. So this is a very important point, I think. The question is related to data, but I think this is related to do business in ASEAN or Thailand, or starting do business in Thailand as well, because AI should understand their language as well. The ASEAN is composed of 10 countries, and each country has their own language. So without understanding their language, we cannot use it as anything. So this is a very good things. So I can say Thailand ready for the cooperate with Korea and really want to cooperate together, because Thailand has good infrastructure, but to be frankly speaking, the technology is Korea is advanced. So this is a very starting point for the digital. So I can say not only one opportunity in Thailand, a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Probably Thailand government give us some prize to her. So what is the wonderful representative of Thailand advertisement for regarding investment? Okay, now is another competitor of Thailand is Vietnam. Vietnam is a rising star nowadays. So, but I give you some other the question. So, Vietnam also there are lots of foreign companies, including Korean companies, invested so much, and then they bet on the growth potential. Everybody knows. But what about what do you think is the barriers and challenges of digital economic growth of Vietnam, and what the Vietnamese government react, or how to overcome or remove those barriers for further e-commerce or other digital economic growth? Can you give an answer?
Yeah, thank you for your question. And I think we are not compete with Thailand. We came here to connect, and in terms of to let more and more investors invest in Vietnam market, we think we did a lot of things for last 5 years to protect the investor, because we are growing quite fast, and when it's growing quite fast, it means there are more benefit, but it's also have more risks. And in Vietnam, we are trying to protect investor in terms of micro economy. But in terms of e-commerce, the barrier of Vietnam e-commerce right now, after 3 waves of development, is we are trying to lower down the rate of fake products, and also the trust of the consumer. In Vietnam right now, there's an issue about e-commerce is people don't pay for high price product online. They just pay for product like 15 US dollar, under $15 US. With the product that with a high price, they will use COD. COD means cash on delivery. And COD in Vietnam have the very high rate, about more than 85% of the e-commerce transaction is COD. And COD will not have seller, also the logistic company, because the seller, they don't have the enough time to turn around the money cash flow. And also the logistic company, they still have to come to pick up the money and also the risk on that. So we are trying to develop a platform to solve that issue by we call escrow model. And escrow model is mean when payment, it will have a third-party platform to make sure when consumer they get the product, they will be protected instead of they using COD. And with escrow model to be developed, we need the e-contract platform. So that's why the whole concept I mentioned today is about we are building a platform to make everything become more clear, and the transparency will be widely applied in all the transactions. So that's how we try to protect the market and the investor. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your sharing the very valuable insight and information. And now is it time to get the question from floor? Any question from floor? Yeah. Okay, discussions to all in furthering ASEAN-Korea cooperation in digital sector. It would be crucial to address the digital divide within ASEAN. What kind of approaches can Korea take to assist ASEAN in narrowing such a development gap among its member states, and how would we ASEAN Korean Center contribute? Okay, this is a question to all. So each of you give a very short answer within 2 or 3 minutes, please. Because this is the last session of the forum. Everybody go home on time. I know. The best presentation is the shortest presentation today.
Thank you. For my opinion, I think we have to learn what is the gap, what is the difference between, for example, Laos and Korea overall. And then we have to identify how to bridge the gap together. Otherwise, it will be like a one-sided communication, and it will be probably make a wider gap without a further understanding of each side of the gap. Thank you.
So how the ASEAN Korea Center contribute?
As I mentioned, we have to learn about the gap together. Otherwise, it will be like miscommunication, like what I need and what they can provide it. Yeah, thank you.
So probably more collaboration events we need. Okay, yeah, I will see you next time. Okay. All right.
Yeah, in addition to the input of Ms. Lau, I think the sharing of best practices from both neighboring countries, ASEAN neighboring countries, will contribute to address the digital divide between all the ASEAN region. And then through that sharing of the best practices, maybe we can enhance the system or the plans on how to improve the digital economy of the different ASEAN countries or neighboring countries.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that, I mean, Korea today is, of course, a global digital economy leader, but it certainly did not happen overnight. So it must have been the conscious effort of both the Korean public and private sector over many years. So I'm sure there are many lessons that can be distilled, whether it's in terms of moving talents from one sector of the economy to another, or adapting international solutions to local cultural Korean culture or language, this type of lessons should be able to should be valuable to the rest of ASEAN if they can be properly distilled and then disseminate to an audience. Okay.
I think I'm not sure whether you get bored about investment, but I believe that this is also from investment. If Korean companies invest in Thailand, and Thai companies get know-how from Korean companies as well. And nowadays, Thai companies also invested in ASEAN countries a lot. They also want to expand their business to overseas. So the investment brings another investment, and the learning brings another learning. So it's a very important thing to investment in Thailand, once again. And then Thai companies also give technology to another countries in ASEAN as well. And AKC prepared this kind of forum or seminar or business to ASEAN countries is a very big contribution. So I would like to thank again. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and my last word is thank you, AKC, for inviting me to be here. And in terms of Vietnam, we really hope that after this conference, there are some of you here understand that we are focused on digitalization right now, hardly. So we really hope Korean company can come and take some task force with us to work on. Yeah, thank you.
May I provide some answer to this question? Yeah, if allowed. Okay, I have two ideas regarding this question. First of all, the financial inclusion or digital inclusion is very critical to overcome those kind of a big gap among countries level in terms of technology or in terms of development level. So capacity building is crucial, but not short-term and short trip or short-term gathering, it is meaningless. It's a long-term planning, real long-term education or long-term capacity building is crucial. So probably ASEAN Korean Center can contribute to make some long-term capacity building program. And the other side is we need to develop more best case or best example sharing. So probably AKC, the ASEAN Korean Center, can provide those kind of a platform to sharing the examples. So maybe Lao best case, maybe Philippines can learn, and Philippines best case Laos or Cambodia can learn each other. So we need to those kind of a big comprehensive platform for sharing. That's my idea. Thank you. So I really appreciate all your participant attention and good presentation and valuable insight from 5 speakers from 5 countries. Thank you for your contribution today. Thank you.